It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
It's that time for this week's cup of coffee from Slumberland at the Lake. I'm Wild Will.
I'm Uncle Chris.
Man, a good one we got for you this week. We got Kara Gerdeman from Kids Harbor. She's going to be joining us here on set in this week's show. They qualified, that being Kids Harbor, for a really cool program. They got a chance to raise or gain a huge check from Ameren, Missouri and the St. Louis Blues. Pretty cool. We'll tell you about that. Got some great local headlines. Listen, we got a coach that we're friends with, won his 100th career game. We got some great stuff going on in the Lake area, plus football rundown and all kinds of events. But before we can even get into what this week's show entails, one of our favorite friends, or best friends, favorite people here at the Lake, officially announcing their retirement, the great Mike Clayton.
Yeah, I mean, he's been kind of a radio standard here for, 3 decades? Almost 30 years. People grew up listening to Mike. And just on top of all that, sometimes you get great personalities that you like to listen to, but they're not good people. Mike Clayton is a great guy. He is good people. He's got a heart of gold, and he's been so good for this community for so long. So he's retiring from his radio show, but I don't think he's going away. I'm guessing he'll be sticking around and still doing things in the community.
Yeah, on the morning show on Mix 92.7, today's best hits, like you said, for nearly 3 decades. Of course, Jeff Carr is longtime co-host, and as well as he's been known and loved for that and all the events he MCs and charitable events he gives to, he's really busted onto the nonprofit scene with Wonderland Camp the last couple of years as their director of fund development. But what I know Mike Clayton for, not just growing up listening to the guy, idolizing him as a media personality and community member, a great dad, great Christian, phenomenal husband, but it's the guy that mowed my grass when I couldn't get time for it, living in Eldon, Missouri. He's won Missouri Broadcast Awards. He's been Citizen of the Year for Lake of the Ozarks. He's been Eldon Citizen of the Year and Ambassador of Hope with LO Profile. And those are just a few of his long, long list of accolades. But like I said, more importantly, out of the professional realm, Mike Clayton has it all. Dad, father, community member, Christian leader, and just so kind and serves others in every regard. And so, Mike Clayton, we know you're not going anywhere, but we want to congratulate you on this well-deserved retirement. And owner and general manager Denny Benny invites everyone to attend a going-away party. It's titled One More with Mike Clayton, and it's set for December 27th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Encore Lakeside Grill and Sky Bar. Appetizers and a complimentary drink are actually going to be provided. Everyone's encouraged to attend, even if it's just to say hi. I mean, this is an occasion. Denny Benny's buying drinks?
I was just going to say, I don't believe that, man. Denny Benny's buying a free drink?
Wow. The guy gave him 30 years and countless relationships. So
love you, Denny.
Love you, Denny. Love you a lot more, though, Mike. Congratulations to Mike Clayton, officially hanging it up from the radio industry. And he'll be missed, I know, by a lot of listeners.
And the thing that a lot of people don't realize is the work that goes in behind the scenes when you're doing a radio show. The best people, same thing with television, the people who make it look the easiest work harder behind the scenes, because that's what makes it look easy, and it's not easy at all. So he puts in hours behind the scene to make the radio show good, and then he's got to get up at like 4:30 in the morning to get there for the morning show. That's a hard job. That is difficult, and he's been doing it for 30 years. I'm guessing he's going to look forward to sleeping in.
Yeah, and I do want to mention his family, because he's close to his family and he wouldn't have been able to do this. His amazing wife, Angel, and his 2 kids, Faith and Jack, both incredibly impressive young individuals because they've been raised by great people. Yep. But congratulations to that entire family. Yep. And I know for Denny, it's going to be a big role to fill. It looked like Jim Hawk has been hired for the afternoon drive on Mix 92.7, and he's going to be moving to mornings in January to join the great Jeff Carr on the morning show.
Yeah, so big change there. But again, I think Mike and his family are going to stick around. It's not like they're leaving the community. I think he's still going to be a big voice and face around here. He just won't be on the radio, but really happy for them. That's a big step, and that will make, I think, Mike's life a lot more quality just because he's not getting up at 4 in the morning every day.
Yeah, he doesn't stop.
He doesn't.
I don't know how he doesn't. You show me somebody at Lake of the Ozarks who doesn't like Mike Clayton, and I'll show you a liar.
Yeah, I've not met one yet. I mean, he is just a super dude.
Yeah, okay, so as we move forward on this week's Cup of Coffee, listen, the Homes for the Holidays program is underway right here at Slumberland at the lake. Make sure that if you know a child who's in need, maybe they're sleeping on the floor, Chris, maybe they're sleeping on the couch, or maybe they're even sharing a bed. Listen, Slumberland at the Lake teams up with Scott's Concrete and 93.5 Rocks the Lake to give away mattresses to kids in need this time of year. And over the next couple of weeks, they're going to be filling their slots of allotted mattresses they have to give away. So if you know somebody who might qualify, who you know a child who is in need, listen, you need to call our good friend Barbara Bunch, the number right there on your screen. You can call, you can text, and do it soon because they're going to start filling those over the next couple of weeks. Big shout out to not just Scott's Concrete and Slumberland at the Lake, but Barbara Bunch and 93.5 Rocks the Lake. Great program.
Yeah, and she's such a wonderful person. Talk about somebody that's been around for a
yeah.
while and a blessing around the lake. Barbara Bunch is one of those people.
Yeah, it's like a tribute show today. Some of the greatest names. We had Kara Gerdeman.
Where do we put your name? You know,
she's going to be on next. And
Yeah.
so listen, we mentioned Kara Gerdeman. She's going to be on here in just a minute. But first, Slumberland, lots of great deals. They just wrapped up their Black Friday sale, and they're getting ready for Christmas season, and they're passing on some great savings to you.
Hey everybody, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Did you know a portion of each sale here at Slumberland goes to help provide mattresses for kids that are sleeping on the floor, on the sofa, or with a sibling? Each year, with the help of some key community partners, we're able to give away over 200 mattresses to the youth in our area. Christmas time is a special time for us. We give away about 120 mattresses through our Homes for the Holiday program. We just wanted to take this time to thank everybody for helping make all this possible.
And we're back from one nonprofit-minded individual to another. We now have Kara Gerdeman with the Kids Harbor, and we just paid tribute to Mike Clayton, and I know you guys very familiar with Mike Clayton.
What a great guy.
Yeah, surprised to see him hanging it up, but I know Mike Clayton, he's not going to be going anywhere. He won't be able to stay away.
Right, he'll still be active in the community, I know.
No doubt about it. So as we welcome Kara from the Kids Harbor, man, this is exciting. The Kids Harbor has officially qualified as one of the 4 finalists for the Ameren, Missouri and St. Louis Blues Power Play Goals for Kids initiative this year. And so tell us just a little bit about that program and how this came about.
So I got a phone call the end of September and asking if we would be interested, if I knew what the Power Play Goals for Kids program was. And I'm a blues fan, so I was kind of familiar with it. And said, would Kids Harbor be interested in being one of the recipients? I said, absolutely. And it's been kind of a whirlwind ever since. Every time the Blues score a power play goal through the regular season, Ameren, Missouri will donate $500 to the charity that wins the most, that has the most votes between December 1st and January 31st.
So listen, voting is already open, and this is the reason we wanted to have Kara on, because we want to make sure that we help get as many votes as we can. You can vote every single day between now and January 31st. And as I looked at the program, Kara, it looks like last year's Super Sam, the winner, they got $32,500, but the Blues said that was actually one of the lower totals.
Yes, I mean, it's very exciting. It's all dependent on how well the Blues are doing and how many power play goals that they score. For example, last week they had 2 power play goals in one game. So that's really exciting. They play a lot during the season. So we're super excited about that opportunity.
Yeah, we went with the Kitchens to that game against our Buffalo Sabres on Thursday, and they announced the 4 finalists. And yeah, there were 2 power play goals that night, which was good. And so this is a big chunk of money. And the other 3 charities, I saw there's a Lift for Life Gym, I Thrive, and St. Louis B-Works. And no disrespect, you're great organizations in their own right, but we want to bring this crown home to the Lake of the Ozarks' own Kids Harbor, and you can help. Again, you can vote daily, and it's on Ameren's website. It's pretty easy. I was already able to vote the last couple of days. And before we transition here in a few minutes, I want you to kind of talk about some of the other things you guys got going on right now at Kids Harbor, some new additions, and I know it's an exciting time for your guys' organization.
Absolutely. We have been very fortunate that we were able to add Dave Ship to our staff to help out with our relationships. We've just grown to a point that we needed some additional help doing some outreach in the community. We also have our community prevention program fully staffed, so we're excited about that. We're in several different school districts providing prevention education, as well as providing prevention education to adults in the community as well. And we offer a free 2-hour course for any adults that want to attend. And I think we have one coming up on December 12th. That information is all on our website and on our Facebook page.
Very cool. Now I wanted to ask you, because so much good this time of year, right? It's the holiday season, more time off work and school, but the unfortunate reality in your line of work is that may mean an increased need. And so talk about this time of year, maybe some of the needs that Kids Harbor is faced with, or how some people in our community might be able to reach out and help outside of voting for the Power Play goals for kids.
Absolutely. So we do see a lot of need around the holidays and throughout the year. Kids often come to us and they may not have had lunch or breakfast, and so sometimes we need to run out and get food for them, or we keep snacks and individually wrapped drinks at our offices. We also sometimes help families with gas cards, because when they're coming in for counseling on a weekly basis, that can really become a burden on a family that is maybe driving from Eldon or Camdenton to Osage Beach once a week to make sure their kiddos are getting counseling services. So we always want to help with that. We can always use volunteers. We can also always use donations, and we have a wish list that we keep on our Facebook page, and we put that up on our website as well.
I got a challenge for you guys out there watching. With that in mind, I think a great thing this time of year is encourage your kids to be part of this, but get 5 $20 gas cards or 5 $20 gift cards to one of the local grocery stores, and those would be great for you guys to have on hand with that need. And check out that wish list on Kids Harbor's Facebook and website. Man, you guys keep up the great work. I wanted to ask before we let you go, your guys' big barbecue bash every year, never too early to start talking about that. Have you guys picked a date for that in '24?
We have. And I don't have my calendar in front of me.
I would
right
put
now.
you on the spot, but at least give us months so we can start.
It is the last Saturday in the month of April.
Okay, so the spring, last Saturday in April.
Yes.
Mark your calendars. Such a fun event. And listen, make sure you're hungry for that. Now, as we let you go, if you were still curious about some of the great things that the Kids Harbor is responsible for, or what they would use these funds for if they were to win the 2024 Ameren, Missouri Power Play Goals for Kids with the St. Louis Blues, we're going to go ahead and let them check out this video. But before we do, thank you so much, Kara. And hey, good luck in this. This is going to be awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your help and your support.
All right, get voting, my friends, and check out Kara Gerdeman.
Kids Harbor's mission is to provide coordinated response, healing, and prevention of child abuse. We're both a place and a process. As a place, we're a safe, child-friendly setting where kids can come talk about abuse that they may have experienced. As a process, everyone charged with the investigation of a child abuse case, we minimize the number of times that the child has to be interviewed while those investigators watch from a separate room. So Kids Harbor helps kids find their voices, to talk about the abuse that they may have experienced, and also to heal from that abuse. When we've experienced trauma, it's really hard to concentrate and sit in a classroom at school or even do everyday functions when you're worried about when the next time you might be abused. Between the two offices, we serve 10 different counties and serve over 600 children each year. We are so excited to be a part of Ameren, Missouri's Power Play Goals for Kids program. A vote for Kids Harbor means that we can continue to serve kids in our community and help them heal from abuse and trauma. If Kids Harbor wins, the money will be used to support our counseling program to ensure that every child that needs counseling can receive those services. Vote now for Kids Harbor Inc. at www.amerenmissouri.com/blues.
I mean, how cool is that for the Kids Harbor?
Oh, it's just amazing. Love Kara. She's such an amazing, she's the perfect person for that job. But what an opportunity this is. But we have to join in and help her out. If this is going to work out for them and they're going to be able to get that extra money, which would be a huge blessing, we have to help. We have to go and vote, and we can do it every day.
Every day. So stop what you're doing right now, wherever you're watching our show this week. Stop right now. Head over to Kids Harbor. Check out our Facebook page. We're going to be filtering that out everywhere. But like you said, every single day, if we could help the Kids Harbor, as you just heard in that previous video, Kara talked about where those funds would go. Such a great organization and great timing as we talk about this year's Lake of the Ozarks shootout. So many nonprofits and charities gain from this, and another record breaker, Chris.
Yeah, how about that? So $675,000 raised by the shootout last year. So, I mean, they just continue to break records year after year. This thing has grown so much. So over the past 5 years, the margin of growth between 2019, when they raised $357,000, to this year's amount, that is an overall increase of nearly 50% just since 2019. And again, the total for last year's shootout, or I should say this year's shootout, I guess this summer, $675,000, and that money goes to Lake area charities, police and fire, and many other charities from the people that chip in and help out. Just absolutely fantastic from the shootout team again.
Yeah, and Thursday night they had their check presentation at Performance Boat Center, the long-running title sponsor of the shootout. Big shout out to Mark and to Brett Manier and the Performance guys. I mean, they are such an integral role in this event. And they had the check presentation. Lake TV's Robbie Brewer was there. You get some sights from that event and get just an idea of how massive the turnout was, because this is big. Big shout out to Executive Director Leah Martin, of course, Ron Dugan. It's been his vision. They continue to grow this, and they've made some great hires. I mean, Christy Wagner, new addition to the shootout, is kind of the creative mind that's going to handle a lot of the social media, the writing. They're already putting out newsletters, and I know the addition of former Lake TV staff member Ricky Smith has been big for them. So shootout continues to grow. We're looking really forward to what 2024 has in store, and I saw some of those pictures. There was a lot of organizations that got their largest check ever, and they keep adding, right? So it used to be like 20 organizations and fire departments, and so you think the amount goes way up, so does the checks to each organization. They keep adding organizations, yet those amounts keep going up. And I will tell you, if you don't understand, a lot of these nonprofits and fire departments, they rely on this check every year to get through their fiscal year, because if it's not for Lake of the Ozarks shootout, they're making cuts, or they may not even be there.
Well, and I remember back in 2020 when we were going through the COVID shutdown, everything else was shut down, and the shootout decided to go on as usual that year in 2020. And one of the main reasons they did that was because a lot of charities do rely on that money every year, or they go under. They'll be done. They'll be dead. And so there is so much on the line for this. So it's not just a fun event, but the charities really need this, and they send people to volunteer to help out, and that's how they, decide how much money they get back for the charities and stuff. So it's just a great relationship.
That year in 2020, when Ron had first asked a bunch of people who were so involved at that point whether or not they move forward, it was 70-plus-year-old Margie Frazier, who's in the Hall of Fame, the volunteer, who said, "We are having this, and if I'm getting out there and I'm volunteering and working these and being around people, you can too. We cannot afford not to have this event." And it went off incredibly. And so she was an integral role in that. Big shout out to Margie and Ron Frazier. We love you guys. All right, so our next local story, Cade Durnan, you saw he signed his national letter of intent to play baseball with Texas Christian University. Hey, you're a big TCU guy, right?
Yeah, because we lived in Dallas for a long time. So the big schools in Dallas-Fort Worth are SMU and TCU, and we became big TCU fans. Great baseball program, pretty good football program.
But baseball, that's their it, right?
Well, they go to the College World Series a lot. They were there again last year. So this is one of the premier baseball programs in the country. And Durnan is going there, and his dad, Bryce, the baseball coach at Camdenton, his brother last year went to Wichita State. So there's a lot of talent in that Durnan family. And this is not a little deal. This is a big deal.
Massive.
I mean, this is where future major leaguers go to play baseball. Yeah.
Listen, Cade Durnan has his eye set on Major League Baseball, as he should, going to play at TCU. And as you mentioned, Cam, who plays, of course, you said at Wichita State, but he would just played with this semi-professional league out of Jeff City and won the championship as their starting second baseman, Cam Durnan did. And, of course, Carson will be back with Camdenton next year as a senior. So what a family, but also on the same day, Camdenton's Ethan Vance signed his national letter of intent to swim with the University of Missouri.
I didn't even know Missouri had a swim team.
A good swim team.
Do they really?
Too. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
If I didn't know better, I'd tell you that Michael Phelps swam at the University of Missouri.
He didn't.
No, he didn't. I know better. That's why I won't tell you that.
I didn't. Yeah, I would have bought it.
But listen, Ethan Vance out of Camdenton, you remember that the Camdenton swim program had his inaugural season about 3 years ago. We broke the story in our first year on coffee. Listen, Ethan Vance is it. He holds 7 Camdenton high school records. He's the pool record holder in West Plains, Jefferson City, Seymour, Foster Natorium, and Springfield. He's a 6-time All-State recipient, earning 2 third-place state finishes, 2 state runner-up, as well as 2 relay events. And he's the current state record holder in the 50 free with the first high school swim under 20 seconds. I don't know if you know how hard that is. You see that, whatever that means, the 50 freestyle.
I think it's freestyle. You can swim anywhere
there
you
and
want,
back,
I think, yeah.
Might be 50 or whatever it is. No one in the state of Missouri has ever done it under 20 seconds until Ethan Vance. He also holds 6 team records for the Jefferson City Barracudas and was a YMCA national qualifier last April with a 14th place finish. Now on a national level, Camdenton's own Ethan Vance is currently ranked 3rd in the 50 free in the whole nation, 4th in the 50 backstroke, and 12th in the 100 freestyle for all high school swimmers of all classes in the nation. That's about all the numbers there, but he signed his national letter of intent, as I said, to play for MIZ.
ZOU, baby.
Swimming for the Tigers, and pretty exciting. And he actually left this week to head to Illinois for the Junior Nationals, which is pretty cool. So Ethan Vance from Camdenton, Missouri, one of the most decorated swimmers at the high school level in all of the country.
And they don't have a pool at Camden High School. They have to travel up the road, up Highway 5 to Laurie, I think, to use the swimming facility up there. So these kids have to go out of their way, the kids and the coaches, to take part in this program. So an extra kudos for that. And then from what I understand, I haven't done a whole lot of swimming, a little bit, but that's like the best sport you can be involved in because it's less wear and tear on your body. You know, when you're swimming in the water, it's not beating up your knees and your shoulders and stuff like that, but it is also one of the best cardiovascular things you can do for yourself. So if you don't mind jumping in the pool, you might go do that. I don't like jumping in the cold water, though, right?
I'll tell you what, swimming's tough too. I mean, it wears you out quick, and there's no one who's more dedicated to their craft and works harder than Ethan Vance. He's a great young man, comes from a great family, and so we here at Lake TV congratulate the Camdenton Lakers and Ethan Vance. That's big representation at the Division I level from your swim program in its first few years, so congratulations to Ethan. Look forward to following his career in Columbia.
Yeah.
All right, another cool headline. We told you about this shootout. That's not all Ron Dugan does, that and own restaurants and title companies. His true passion is that on the hardwood, and he recently celebrated win number 100.
How about that for Ron Dugan, right? So Ron has been coaching AAU basketball for a long time. I mean, probably like over 30 years. So to say he's just got 100 wins is not even realistic. He's probably got closer to 500
I was going to say, I
700 wins.
A little over 500.
Yeah.
I averaged out his AAU wins.
Yep.
So I think he probably has won over 600 games total in his career. But at the sanctioned high school level, over 100, and he's only been, this is his 6th season.
That's amazing. And if you haven't heard about the Max Creek Girls program, wow, they are good. I mean, they're so good. They're one of the favorites to go to the Final Four this year in Class 1A and maybe even win a state championship. Those girls are that good, so good. Coached by Ron Dugan, and he used to coach the boys over there at Max Creek for 3 years. And then his daughter came along, grew up. She's playing high school hoops now, and so Ron just is doing the ladies. Coach Jeff Treat took over the boys program. He's doing a great job too, but Ron Dugan deserves that. And I think that means a lot to Ron. Again, so many AAU wins that, don't really get recognized, and finally he gets recognized in official high school ranks for 100 wins, but he's already a Hall of Famer. He really is that great of a coach.
And what's funny is for Ron, he's had the most really continual success these last 3 years in girls, and he spent his whole life coaching men's basketball. He's got 2 older boys, both really good basketball players in their own right.
Yeah.
And of course, Brooklyn, his daughter, who's a junior All-State guard. She's joined by India Willis and Addison Ratliff. This team is stacked, and over the last 3 years, this Max Creek ladies team is 52-10.
Wow.
Pretty impressive. So a big congratulations to Coach Ron Dugan and the Max Creek Lady Pirates. And as you said it, don't look now, but don't be surprised that the Max Creek Lady Pirates aren't hanging a banner, or at the very least making a trip back to the Final Four.
Yeah, and they were this close last year. They lost by 1 point in the final seconds to the team that went to the Final Four. They were that close to going last year. This year, they're another year taller, bigger, stronger. Look out for them, and most of their players are juniors, so they'll be back next year. So
I was fortunate enough. Coach Ron Dugan and I, we've done basketball shows together. His first 2 years at Max Creek, I was his assistant coach. Had an absolute blast, and so I can tell you, this does mean a lot to him. The man absolutely loves basketball, and to see him get to watch Brooklyn, his daughter, come up into his program and have the success and be the great player. She loves to pass more than she likes to shoot, and she's a phenomenal scorer, which surprises him because he goes, man, that's not for me,
How did she get to be so pretty coming out of Ron?
Nicole.
I don't get that.
Nicole.
That explains it, yeah.
Same thing with Brinley. You look at me, it makes no sense, but you always have the beautiful lady, and that is absolutely Nicole Dugan. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping they make a run, and as we move ahead, start talking about...
Oh, by the way, we will be carrying Max Creek girls games on January 4th. They've got a doubleheader against Walnut Grove. Should be a great... So first we'll do the girls game, then we'll do the boys game. So put that on your calendar, January 4th.
Can't wait. We'll be there together that night. We're looking forward to some high school basketball. But listen, football, of course, Missouri was on the bye. What a crazy week of championship games, Chris.
Wow.
And, so it's official. Missouri 10-2, 6-2 in the SEC. They get Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl Friday, December 29th at 7 p.m. That is a New Year's Six Bowl. First time Mizzou's been to a New Year's Six Bowl. Not the first time they've been to a Cotton Bowl. They've been twice over the last 11 years and won it back in 2008 and then won it again in 2013. So I guess 08 would have made it like 15 years ago, but they've been there and they've had some success.
Coach Gary Pinkel was just inducted into the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame last year.
Yeah, the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. He won it twice. Tony Temple has the Cotton Bowl record from 08 with 282 rushing yards in that game. But listen, were you surprised? Okay, I was happy about Mizzou, but surprised with the Final Four playoff teams? You didn't get Florida State. Georgia didn't get in after losing. I mean, what a tough time the committee had to have.
I was shocked that Florida State didn't get in. And actually, I agree with the committee. I think out of the top 6 teams, Florida State's probably the number 6. So they probably, but they finished the season 13-0, undefeated, beat some good teams like LSU. First time it has happened that a top 5 power conference team goes undefeated and doesn't make the Final Four. So that was a bit shocking. But Alabama, after knocking off Georgia, deserved to be there. Texas, after beating Alabama on the road this season, deserved to be there. Georgia probably deserved to be there, and they got left out. So it was a tough year. They need to go to a more team playoff, which I think they're doing next year.
Yeah, it'll extend to a 12-team. But it's what they get. They should have seen the writing on the wall before you ever got to this point, trying to limit it down to 4.
Yeah.
You're either going to have a national championship and you have to win your conference title game to get there, or if you're going to do a playoff, you got to do a playoff, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And also, lots of awards for the Missouri football program. Coach Drink, the AP SEC Coach of the Year. Cody Schrader, the walk-on player of the year. 7 Missouri Tigers on the first all-SEC team.
Yeah.
That's a record. Pretty cool. And basketball, 7-2, winners of 4 in a row. No one's even talking about them because everyone's worried about the football
Everybody's
program.
talking football, yeah.
But the Tigers play at Fog Allen Saturday.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. I think they're going to get their hat handed to them. But
Did he say, what did you say?
hat.
Oh,
that's what I
okay.
said.
Very good.
Just because Kansas is so good. But Mizzou struggled early part of the year. They seem to be putting it together now, and I think they're going to be pretty good again this year.
I agree. Can't wait for that game as well as the bowl game on the 29th. Hey, Chiefs lose, the Packers.
Oh. I think the Chiefs are in trouble this year. I know I said this last year, and they went on to win the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I just don't think they've got it. You think the Bills, hey, they play this week, right?
I got Buffalo by 11 in Kansas City. Unky Chris thinks the Bills are going to win bigger.
Probably not.
All right, hey, that's going to do it. Wanted to give a shout out to Andrew. Wins Pick'em again, starting to pull away. Pretty close with you guys, but Andrew's our champ.
Love that guy.
All right, until next week, my friends, thanks for tuning in for this week's Cup of Coffee.